Hello and welcome to this edition of Back in History. In this edition, we present to you the profile of Nigeria's pioneer media entrepreneur, High Chief Raymond Dokpesi, who lived from October 1951 to May 2023. He was the first person in Nigeria to receive a license to operate a private radio station in the country. He started strong and went on to sustain the tempo for several years. He expanded his media enterprise and added a television station in no time. He became a powerful voice in the media industry and also took active part in the politics of his country. His name resonates prominently in every part of Nigeria and across the continent of Africa. By dint of hard work and commitment to his goals, he built a media empire that can outlive him for many more years to come and transcend from one generation of his successors to another. He was born on 25th October 1951. His parents were from Edo State, Nigeria. 7 days after his birth, he was given the name Raymond Anthony Lego Dokpesi. The young Raymond grew up under the watchful eyes of his parents. He learned to crawl and progressively he learned to walk. He was the only male child in a family of several females. When he came of age for elementary education, he was enrolled by his parents at the Loyola College, Ibadan, in the then western region of Nigeria. He thereafter proceeded to the Immaculate Conception College in Benin City for his secondary education. He completed his secondary education and proceeded to the University of Benin in Edo State. From there, he proceeded to Poland, where he studied and earned a master's degree and moved further to earn a doctorate degree in marine engineering. Raymond then returned to Nigeria with sufficient knowledge of the maritime industry. He started as the personal assistant to Alhaji Bamanga Toko, one of the general managers of the Nigerian Port Authority at the time. Bamanga Toko had been his long-standing benefactor and is said to have been the person who sponsored his studies in Poland. Dokpesi also served as a civil servant in the Federal Ministry of Transport under Alhaji Umaru Diko and under General Gaba Wushishi. With his vast classroom knowledge of the maritime industry and his practical experiences in the Nigerian Port Authority, Raymond Dokpesi began to dream big. And in due time, Raymond established his first business and named it Africa Ocean Lines. This was the first indigenous shipping line in Nigeria. Raymond was involved in the day-to-day management of the company, and the company recorded several feats in the Nigerian maritime industry. The military had been in leadership in Nigeria for several years. The military largely regulated the media and did not allow private individuals to own media houses. News for the public was heavily censored, and only government-owned broadcast stations were allowed to exist. Raymond was perhaps not comfortable with this reality and thus craved for a change. He needed permission to invest in the media and own his private radio and television station. He knew that it was going to be a Herculean task for him. There were many odds ahead, one of which was that a decree would have to be passed to allow for private participation in the media space in Nigeria. General Ibrahim Babangida eventually issued a decree which allowed private broadcasting in the country. This was a turning point for the media industry in Nigeria. Raymond applied for license and was granted by the government. Raymond became the first person to be granted a license to open and run a private radio station in the country. Raymond named it Raypower. This radio station became the darling of the people. Its programs were carefully chosen and carefully designed to offer maximum satisfaction and entertainment to people. Companies trooped to Raypower to place adverts, and in the process, Raymond Dokpesi had remarkable returns for his investments. He expanded the company beyond Lagos and moved to places like Port Harcourt and Abuja. Raymond Dokpesi also became the first person to own a private TV station in Nigeria. The station was named Africa Independent Television, AIT. In no time, the TV station became the darling of many households in Nigeria. It was the first of its kind, and its approach to broadcasting was top-notch and remarkably different from the government-owned Nigeria Television Authority, NTA. Raymond was deliberate in his approach to broadcasting and was directly involved in the day-to-day running of the company. AIT was also Africa's first satellite television station. It covered every breaking news item in Nigeria and stretched its coverage to other countries in Africa and other parts of the world. Raymond was a man of style and had a penchant for the best. And for AIT, he recruited the best hands to work for him. In no time, AIT was able to set a high standard for broadcasting in Nigeria. As of September 2003, AIT had launched its signals in the United States of America. Presently, AIT is received in the United States, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Europe-wide on the Hotbird satellite, as well as countries within Africa. Indeed, Chief Raymond Dokpesi, within a short time, had built for himself and his family a successful media empire. Raymond also took active part in the politics of his country. One of his first political assignments was as a campaign manager for Alhaji Bamanga Tukur, which saw to Tukur becoming the governor of the then Gongola states. He also assumed the same role during Alhaji Adamu Kiroma's presidential campaign, and also assumed the same role during Alhaji Bamanga Tukur's presidential campaign in 1993. He also assumed the same role during Sir Peter Odili's presidential campaign. In 2015, Raymond Dokpesi served as the organizing committee chairman of the People's Democratic Party for the party's national conference. In 2017, Dokpesi contested for the PDP national chairmanship position. He was a force to reckon with, considering his pedigree and contact across the north and other parts of Nigeria. He, however, lost the contest to Uche Secondus of Rivers State. In December 2015, Dokpesi and his company, Dar Holding and Investment Limited, were charged in the Federal High Court Abuja by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. He was accused of receiving billions of naira from the Office of the National Security Advisor as proceeds of crime. Dokpesi returned the services of his lawyers, Senior Advocates of Nigeria, to defend him. He pleaded not guilty to the charge. He maintained that the money was paid to his company as media consultancy, and that his company indeed carried on with the assignment and rightfully earned the money. At the end of the case of the prosecution, a no-case submission was raised in his favor. The no-case submission was overruled, but on Thursday, 1st April 2021, Raymond Dokpesi was acquitted of all money laundering charges by the Court of Appeal. On the 29th day of May 2023, it was announced by his son Raymond Dokpesi Jr. that High Chief Raymond Dokpesi had passed on. The news of his demise sent shock across the media community in Nigeria and across the world. His death marked the end of an era. In an article published on 10th October 2021 by Independent newspaper, a widely circulating newspaper in Nigeria, with the title, quote, "Real Reason Why I Married Two Wives," High Chief Raymond Dokpesi is quoted to have said as follows, quote, "I am a Catholic, and I definitely would tell you that one of the greatest errors of my life is polygamy. But it is not something that I desired or something that I wanted. It was a situation that developed and I just had no alternative." He continued, still on quote, "A lot of people looked at it as if it was wealth that distorted my behavior, but the truth of the matter is that there were internal family challenges that led to the polygamy. I was married to a Polish woman. I wanted to remain with her. I still desired it in my old age, but she left Nigeria for reasons that she was the only child of her parents, and so she had to stay with her parents and I had to stay here, and there is no leave in marriage. And so I shuttled down to Poland over 16 times, requesting her to come back to Nigeria and stay. But as the only child, she wanted to be with her parents. My mother was very anxious that I should have children that are my own, kids that I don't need to enter a plane to go and visit. That whole thing caused the instability that later affected my life." End of quote. Raymond was survived by his wives, children, and several family members, business associates, and friends in the politics of Nigeria and from other spheres of life. Following the announcement of his demise, several VIPs have visited his family to condole with them. Such persons include His Eminence John Cardinal Onayekan, the Emeritus Archbishop of the Catholic Diocese of Abuja, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Peter Obi, and several other persons. Some reports have it that Raymond Dokpesi had an accident while engaging in exercise in his private gym at home. Raymond died at the age of 71 and will be sorely missed by many. Raymond came, saw, and can rightly be said to have conquered the media space in Nigeria at a time he was still relatively young. Thanks for watching this edition of Back in History, and do remember to subscribe to the channel or follow the page for regular notification on every new video.